The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit. I'm your host, Christine Lalonde, and this is the podcast where we uncover the truth about online dating. Now let's begin.
Hey, I'm Christine.
I'm Jada.
And this is 50 Shades of Bullshit, where we come each week and talk about a bunch of bullshit we want to talk about because we have control that way.
I mean, yeah, why not? Why talk about anything other?
We say, what the fuck? Let's just talk some bullshit.
Christine, I love you.
Somebody has to. I'm telling you. So today is weird. Today is one of those days. I couldn't get my computer to turn on at my meeting. It then died in the meeting, which was so embarrassing. Before I even left for the meeting, my wallet was lost. I couldn't find it. And I can't start my car or go anywhere without it because my key to my car is in it. I found my spare. I come home. It's hiding under the passenger seat. How the ever laughing fuck did it get there? I have no idea. I can't even begin to tell you all the things that have gone so wild today. So we're going to talk about all the bullshit. So I actually didn't tell you, Jada, about what our topic is today. I don't.
It's okay. I can wing it. It's fine.
I wing it every day of my life. So today is actually called Life's First Draft. And my interpretation of that is, I kind of let our guests pick what they want to talk about and kind of help with the title. And then I don't really dive too much into it because I want to be able to say, hey, this is my interpretation of it. And my interpretation is that life's first draft, well, we have many opportunities to redraft how we want to live our life. Right? True. Right. We have many chances in our lives to make choices to change how we are writing the story of our life. And if you're not liking the draft you're in, crumple, what's the paper?
Throw it up, get a new draft.
Get a new draft. So, with the new year coming, I thought this was perfect. I love Bradley's suggestion because I thought, this is perfect. Everybody likes the whole new year, new life. And I would say, shut up. You're still on meth, Cheryl. What are you talking about?
You're so silly. But you know what? I will say, Christine, in the matchmaking world, January is huge.
Is it really?
It's huge.
Were they lonely from the holidays because they had nobody and now they're
but it's almost like weight loss. People think new year, new man, new woman, new relationship. I've got to get on it. Let me, it's a big deal.
I see this and I've in the past thought, I can do the whole New Year's resolution, new year, new life, whatever. But for me, I always thought that, we should do this any time of the year. Why wait for January? Why are we binging through the holidays and, waiting till January to start losing weight? It's going to make it harder. Why aren't we starting in October or November or July and August? It's like let's stop and take stock of where we are and let's rewrite this fucking story that we don't like. Actually, my life is really fantastic.
I mean, I just said
I can't complain.
For those of you that are listening, prior to this, she and I chatted. This whole vibe that you're giving me is very much happiness, sex-filled, joy. Yeah.
Yeah, I jump his bones every second I can.
I see it in your face.
He doesn't have an opportunity to jump mine because I'm like,
I mean, the glow, honey, I love it. I love it. I love this for you, though. I love it for you because you've been.
I wait for no one.
I know.
I take charge of my own life.
I know.
It's like sex. Yes, I want it now. I don't know. I'm very happy. I've been really happy in my life anyway. Really starting over a year ago when I started this journey for my podcast, I really started bringing people on and talking about how we change our lives, how we make choices for ourselves to make ourselves happy, not waiting for somebody else to make you happy. And I was really, really happy before my guy came into my life. And him being in my life just makes it, just like the silver lining.
Yeah.
Everything else was great beforehand. And I kind of did a little exercise today, as we were, I don't know, my brain is fried. As I was saying, my wallet was gone.
Yep.
I also have a little envelope that I have that I use for in case of emergency, in case my credit card is hacked or lost, whatever. I couldn't find that either.
Holy cow.
I left blindly from my meeting today with nothing. And I was like, holy shit, thank God I have enough gas to get there and back. But I was like, okay, what is my problem? And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to try this out. I'm going to feel. I've already found my wallet and I've already found that money. And I'm going to be like, relief. I'm going to live that moment of relief and happiness that I found it. And when I forced myself to stop panicking and stop being stressed about not having it, then what happened was I was feeling as if, my lights are going nuts. There's a ghost in my house. Seriously, there's always a fucking ghost in my house. Like, give me a break today. Granny, honestly, I want to look good. Stop with the lights. So what I did is I started living in that moment that's already fulfilled. And when I got home, I not only found the money, but then I found my wallet. So I don't know. I mean, I was going to find the money in the wallet anyway, but why panic and why freak out and, all that fun stuff. So.
Well, but I would never know that you had a shit day because you, my friend, are like, la, la, la. Oh, it's wonderful. Like you're.
Be quiet, you.
I would have never known that it was a complete shit show today.
One of my best friends, we all know Janice Formicella.
Yes. Facey.
Is in town today. She's here for our holiday party for
I know.
Look at my lighting. You're not here, Jada.
I know. Well, the car accident threw everything off and just life is a shit show. But I will be there in January. Oh my God,
yes. FaceTime you.
Yeah.
I'll put my camera up and we'll FaceTime you and you can join the party.
No, but then I'm going to have major FOMO though. Then I'm going to be like, oh, I want to be there. Is Brian going?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I tell you what, though, I have a bunch of surprises for everybody. I can tell you because, I don't know if anybody listens to my show from the people that we talk to, but I got a karaoke DJ, so we're going to be karaokeing. Oh, yeah, we're doing all charcuterie boards, all different kinds, dessert and regular, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And we're doing a white elephant gift giving thing.
It.
Nobody knows. I went out and found some crazy ass gifts.
I bet you did. I bet you did.
I got some juicy things. I need another gift. I might go get like this crazy dildo that's like 15 feet long.
How many women and how many men? Aren't people bringing significant others?
I have no idea, but if a guy goes home with a 15-foot dildo, I'm sure he can figure out what to do with it.
That's hilarious. I love it.
So yeah. So that's what I'm doing, and people should have a good time. And if they don't, that's their problem. So let's talk about today's show. It's called Life's First Draft.
Yes.
And for a lot of people, letting go of the past can be a real challenge. And Bradley Richardson was here not too long ago. Let me pull that up and tell you. Bradley was here on episode 45 for men's mental health. And Bradley Richardson is well known for being the creator of Advanced Adulting. And he's a coach, and he creates content to help grown-ass adults navigate the shifts and changes of midlife. And he's a 5-time best-selling author, speaker, coach, and executive. And he's really fucking something, and he's adorable, and he's really cute. And he's going to come on today. I know. He's fun to look at for the next hour. But he's going to help us write the next draft of your life. So let's bring on Bradley and get his 2 cents on how today is going.
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Wow. That was an intro. I'm just going to, I like the really fucking something. I think that's what I'm going to go with right now.
Did I say you're really fucking something?
I think so. And I'll go back and play it. That's what I heard.
I have no idea what I say.
So, that's all right.
I did say you're really fucking something.
It's good to be back. Thank you. So, and happy to be here with Jada too.
My brain does what it wants. So welcome, Bradley.
All that sex. It's all that sex, Bradley.
Does what it wants. Yeah. You have no brain.
Right.
Isn't that how life is supposed to be, though? I mean, we're adults. We're grown-ass adults. Why can't we just have fun?
Well, that's exactly it. Haven't we earned it? I mean, and that's the whole thing. I mean, that's part of advanced adulting is helping grown-ass adults navigate life. And part of being a grown-ass adult is, look, you've the good stuff, the bad stuff, and hopefully you've earned your stripes. You've had some experience, some baggage, some scars, and now hopefully you're going to get the right person and have a good time, enjoy your life, and do things. So. That's it. Right.
Well, you know, when we're kids, we're like, I can't wait till I'm a teenager. Then we're teenagers and we're like, I can't wait till I'm adult and can make my own decisions. And then we become adults and we're like, holy shit, life is expensive and there's a lot of challenges. And now I'm like, screw all that. I'm here to have some fun and let's just do it.
Well, you're exactly right. It's so funny. I mean, if we knew then what we know now, we wouldn't be in such a rush at all. And one of the biggest things is for a lot of people, you know, whether you get married, whether you have kids, whether you're in a long-term relationship, you know, we all go through this. And, you know, I focus on folks in midlife, 40s, 50s and beyond. And the whole idea is in every aspect of your life, okay? Whether it's your relationships, whether it's your friendships, your family, how you view yourself, your own confidence, your career. You live multiple lifetimes because who you are at 45 or 55 is such a dramatically, totally different human being than you were at 25 or even 35 when you thought you knew what was going on. But I think that's a lot of it. And for so many people, and we've talked about this before, you know, you hit a certain age or a certain, you know, milestone or big, you know, event in life, and you realize, hey, what did I do? Why did I do that? And what can I do next? And that's the idea. You know, I love what you said when you were going on, when you were doing the intro there. You were talking about your journey as you decided to do the podcast and everything else. You know, that's just it. We get a chance to reevaluate things. But, and here's the big but. There's always someone's big but involved, right? So my
big butt, and I cannot lie.
The big but in this is, we know what to do, or we know in our heart, but there's so many people. A lot of the people that I work with, and I've done it too, is you get hung up on it. Now you know what you want, you know what to do, but you're still so hung up on your baggage, all the experience, because some ex-wife, ex-husband, you know, bad boss, parent, whatever, told you something, and you're still hung up on that shit, or you're hung up on a failure, or a breakup, or a knockdown. And we are our own worst enemy. I mean, does bad shit happen to everybody? Absolutely. Okay, but we tend to hang on to it and magnify it, and that's the hard part I see with. And again, a lot of us have done it, and I wasted years hanging on to things that I shouldn't have, or giving energy to people and things and experiences that really didn't deserve to be around. and it had kept me and other people from being, really making the best of the rest of their lives. And that's part of it right there.
Yeah. So I had a conversation with one of my best friends last night who has known me a really long time. And we are also business partners together. We do a production company. And we were talking, and I had told her, I said, I haven't talked to you in a few months. You've been really crazy. Your life's been a whirlwind. So I haven't told you, but, I'm seeing Christian again. And this is somebody that, just so you know, Bradley, I dated him and lived with him for 2 years. We stopped seeing each other because he had a lot of work to do. I couldn't deal with the work he had to do. Right. I had a lot of healing and work myself to do. So it wasn't working. It was right person, wrong time. And we reconnected after 8 years, and we are bliss right now. Okay.
Hence the previous conversation.
Yeah. So why I jump his bones every 2 seconds. He's
right.
One hot tamale. So we were talking, and she's like, oh my God. So she helped me move out when I lived with him. And she would have been the first person to say, you are a fucking crazy woman to go back to him. Right. She would have been the first person. So I was a little nervous to tell her. And she literally said, Christine, you're happy. He makes you happy. If he's done the work and you've done the work, why not be happy together? I'm so happy you found each other. She goes, besides the fact that the last douche nod, she said, gave you this feeling, or this kept gaslighting you that you were a problem, that you had anger issues, that you fought with everybody. But she goes, I kept telling you, that's not you. That's not you. But he made me believe that was me, and realize actually it was not me. It was the situation with him. So I do see where we can get caught up in the past, where people tell us, bad things about ourselves, and then not be able to get past it. I've lived that. And I'm sure Jada has too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's things like that. And we just keep, it sticks in our heads, and we create that narrative, and we tend to either over romanticize it. Okay. Oh, it's so much better. No, it's actually shit. And we do that way too often, or is we beat ourselves up repeatedly. And I see this for people beating themselves up, and this is very common too. I mean, I work with a lot of women, and it goes for both genders. But I mean, people will go, you know what? Men suck. Men are awful. And they're just bitter on everything. Or, you know what? Women cheat. They all suck. They cheat. And they just make these blanket statements and and they live their life that way. Or, Jada, I know you're a matchmaker there. And you know what? It's the same thing with people who say, you know what? Screw it. I had a bad experience. I'm never going to do it again. I'd rather sit home with my dog and my cat and watch Netflix all my life. And who are you hurting? Who are you hurting on that? And what people really want, they really want you. Yes. Do they want hot, crazy sex? Yes. Do they want a companion? Do they want? Sure. But really, if you dig down, okay, those are important. But what I find more often than not with people, if you really get down to it, they want a connection. Now, can they get that connection from a romantic partner? Absolutely. But that connection can come from your true friends, from all kinds of things. I don't just believe, I know, because I've experienced it. I mean, look, I spent years after a divorce, chasing everything in town, trying to fill a hole. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Is it fun for a while? You're damn right it is. But, after a while, you're just like, wow, I'm just chasing broken things because I'm avoiding something. And I love that you said that your guy's done the work. That's great. That is not, and we're all still doing it. It's like being an alcoholic. If anybody says, oh, well, I've got it nailed down, great. Well, that's when the universe kicks you in the ass and says, watch this, and hide your wallet or something. You can work on things. But I really believe that. And what led me to what we want to talk about today is this idea of life's first draft. Was a lot of these conversations I've had with a lot of my clients lately of people who are kind of either scared, bitter, or reluctant to make a change. Because that's the thing. I mean, you're in your 40s, 50s, whatever, and you see the runway getting shorter. Okay. And it's like we become scared of, I don't know if I'll make the wrong choice. What if I've already wasted this many years with the wrong person? What if it happens again? Or it could be anything from making a move. Client of mine wants to move away from Florida. Okay. I don't know. I hate it, Florida, but where can I go? That we become paralyzed so much because of our former mistakes or traumas. And I read this quote from Ernest Hemingway, and I loved it. Ernest Hemingway said, "Every first draft is shit." And I thought, yeah. And I've written 5 books. It's not easy. I've had successes, I've had failures, and I just thought about that, and I thought, you know what? If one of the greatest writers of all time recognizes that really your first attempt at the stuff is shit, and that's why they call it, a rewrite, a redo, and a re-edit. You get a second chance, and that's not to be cliche. Yeah. That really is, and I guess said it earlier. Who you are in your 20s versus your late 40s, totally different. You got some experience. All that shit, that trauma you hang into is called experience. Yeah. And if we can learn from that, you have a chance to rewrite it. You eliminate the bad stuff, and you have that choice. And I think you said that earlier in your intro. We have a choice of it. Nobody's going to come save you. Nobody's going to come in and help you until you get your own shit together or going in the right direction.
Yep. I see each morning that somebody wakes up, that's your second chance. Yeah. The next day, you didn't do it yesterday. Well, today you woke up again.
Right.
Here's another chance. Each day you can make choices to change something. If your choice is to, sit on the couch and wallow about, how sucky your life is and do nothing about it, that you made a choice. Life didn't happen for you. You made a choice for that shit to happen.
Right.
You have the choice.
Absolutely. A couple of things I think of with that. And the first one is, and I've said this a lot, and I believe it's kind of a core tenet, is you're going to fuck it up. Okay? You are. It's not always like, hey, I decided to change my life, and it's all great right now. Okay? You have a cheat day on a diet. You'll fuck up something at some point. And the example I use is success is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Okay? You're going to have bad days. You're going to have progress, and you're going to be crushing it, and something's going to happen. Okay. And that's okay. But too often, and again, I've done it, where you sit there and you beat yourself up and you're like, God damn it. I can't believe I did that. Well, that's okay. 2 steps forward, 1 step back is still progress. And we have to understand that you're going to have bad days, bad moments. You're still going to, I see this like a dating is a great example. Okay. People love to say, we talked about this before, my type. I hate the idea of my type. Okay. I had a type for a long time. My type sucked. And the idea is,
me too.
They used to call it coffee. My friends would say, Bradley, your type is coffee. If they're hot, dark, and bitter, that's your girl right there.
Yeah.
But the deal is, once you actually do the work or realize who is good for you, you still may be attracted to somebody. You still may go down that path, but you've learned, and you catch them and beat yourself up and go, oh, okay. Well, this time, instead of wasting 2 years on this ding dong, I only wasted 2 weeks. Okay. I caught myself and said, no, these are the bad habits, the red flags, the triggers. I've been down there. I got the shirt. I'm not doing this dance again. And it's easy to beat ourselves up rather than just going, okay, cool. I just saved almost 2 years. That's a win.
I had that conversation with my daughter yesterday. My oldest daughter's 29. And she's going through it. And I said something about, she said how happy she is that Christian and I refound each other because he's the one that she liked the best out of everyone. And I was like, oh, good. She said, but you still, kind of dated that tool from this summer. And I said, you know what? I caught myself. It was a long distance relationship. After 2 months of talking, he did not want me to come see him. He wanted me to wait till he could come see me. And I said, no, I'm coming to see you no matter what. So I went, saw who he was, saw what the situation was.
On the train.
Got the fuck out. I got out. And I told my daughter, I said, no.
Out.
I got out. I saw it. And I didn't waste any more time, and I got out. So yeah, people can.
That is so important. I'm happy for you. And you said you didn't waste time. Here's the thing, okay? Are we going to get hurt again? Yeah. Are we going to get make a mistake? Yeah, it's going to happen. I don't care who you are. Okay, you're going to do dumb things. You're going to it's going to occur. But time is what we have. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, and not to be morbid, but look, I'm in my 50s, and you realize it can happen anytime. You don't know how much time you have. I tell you what, one of the best things I ever said, my girlfriend Shannon, who is amazing. I mean, a multitude of things. I'll rant and rave later on that. But one of the best things she said was, I wish we'd met 10 years earlier. Okay. And I get that. But at the time, when we think about that, it's like, yes, that's wonderful. But I probably wouldn't have been the man that she needed already then, vice versa. Okay. Yep. But now that we're here, let's run like hell. Okay. Let's make the most of every single minute of this.
I love that.
Right. And that's a big deal for a lot of us. And whether it is a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it is repairing something or telling something to go to hell and you don't need that action in your life anymore, which is equally as important and valuable. I think those are big things. We were talking a second ago, the other thing outside of the 2 steps forward, 1 step back, is you were talking about we keep looking for and finding the same things, right? And the idea is to learn earlier, but I also, look, you were talking ghosts or whatever earlier. I mean, I don't know how many of your audience here is woo woo or not. I'm not like everybody in Austin that's like complete, over the top, woo. But I got a little woo. But here's the thing: I really buy into the idea of I buy into the whole manifesting and not sitting there going, "Oh, I want this." But I saw a video on TikTok the other day and it cracked me up. Okay, because I have clients that are like this, and the first thing is I do not accept victims. You can whine, you can bitch, you can have a bad day, all that. But this whole professional victim Eeyore shit, we don't do. And it was funny because this woman, she was in Texas, okay, where I am. And she gets on there and she's looking hot at the gym, and she's like, you know what? I've been dating assholes and all I find are assholes and all men are assholes. You know what? It's turning me into an asshole. And I just read that and I'm like, okay. And you look at the comments, and the beautiful part of the comments were cracking me up. Hundreds of comments. Well, honey, I think you're already there.
The best.
You're already there, honey. Don't worry about it. But the sad thing is that's not uncommon. There are a lot of people there that you let 2 or 3 or whatever your strength. If it happens once, bad deal. Happens twice, bad deal. Happens 5 consistently, all these times, it's on you.
It's you.
It's like that old joke. I may have told you this so Christine. I mean, it's the idea of one person calls you an ass, no big deal. 2 people say you're an ass, who cares? 7 people you're an ass, go buy a salad. Okay,
you're an ass.
You're an ass.
you are the consistent thing here. But if all you do is going to find bitterness, bad relationships, cheaters, crazy people, losers, you're a fucking magnet, and that is what you're putting out there. And so you draw that shit to you.
Yep. We were just talking about this not too long ago on a couple of episodes. We were talking about manifesting. And when a lot of dating coaches or a lot of people I have on the show ask, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And a lot of people tend to say, I don't want somebody who's this and I don't want somebody who's that. I said it's the same thing with manifesting. When we're putting out there what we don't want, that's what we're attracting. We're putting verbally into the universe or whatever you want to call it, woo-woo, that is what we're looking for. You have to speak what you want, not what you don't want. You have to act, you have to project what what you want. You can't be projecting asshole attitude if you don't want an asshole.
Well, there's absolutely, and there's a couple of elements to that as well. And that I find with a lot of folks that I work with, and it's men and women. Okay, they go with the superficial. They go with the superficial first. You know what? If they do decide what they want, well, I want this. Okay, they need to be this tall. They need to be this. All of superficial, which is you like what you like. I get it. Okay, but whether it's what they do for a living, where they live, all that stuff, and I get it. Okay. But what they don't do is they don't allow space for the what ifs, okay? Or rather this, they go for a what if they suck? What if it doesn't work? Instead of the what if it does? And because they're so rigid on these outward requirements, they fail to look at. They either do what you're talking about, Christine, of the like, don't want this, and I don't want this, and I don't want a cheater, and I don't want a narcissist, I don't want somebody so awesome. Instead of actually focusing, I want somebody who communicates well. I want somebody who's loving. I want somebody who's attentive. I want somebody who's all those things. And then the second piece to this, and I work with all my folks on this, you can tell me what you want, but what does it look like to you? And can you define it? Okay. That's huge one. Because people will say, I want somebody who is pays attention to me. I want somebody who's affectionate. Well, cool. What does affection mean to you? How do you define that? Okay. What is a good communicator to you? Well, does that mean, texting you throughout the day? Or does that mean, what is that? Because everybody, if you don't know what to expect and really define that, and the esoteric terms, the bigger terms, then you don't know shit yet. You get, because
you're not going to see it. You're not going to recognize it. Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to recognize it, and you can't communicate that either. He didn't communicate with me. Well, okay. Well, he probably was communicating fairly well according to what he thought good communication was. But if you just say, I want someone who communicates, okay, another crazy old joke. Granted, I'm like old man dad now with dad jokes, but it's this. Old man walks into his home. Been married 40 years. He's there and he sees his wife standing by the stairs with her bag. Her suitcase is packed. And he's like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm leaving you. What are you leaving me for? She goes, look, we've been married 40 years. What are you doing? She goes, you never told me, you never told me that you love me. She goes, or he says to her, he goes, well, I told you the day we got married. I thought you knew. Yeah. So that's part of it right there, is everybody has different expectations. And if you don't know what your defined expectations are, then that's a world of hurt right there. And you're not going to be able to know it when it comes up and bite you in the butt.
So Bradley, how do you suggest that people start writing their second chapter, their second draft, their do-over? How do we get there?
Right. Well, I think it starts with realizing where you've come from. Okay. And what I mean is, at this age, you've experienced a lot. Okay. And you've grown a lot. It's all of those lessons and experience we talked about. But what happens is I think we end up devaluing a lot of who we are and what we've done and what we've experienced. Okay. So the first thing is really, instead of, well, I want this and here's what I want. Let's go back and do kind of a post-mortem here. If you're going to really edit something, if you're going to really edit a first draft, okay. Like I remember the first book I wrote, ages ago, Random House, they sent me the printed out manuscript. It was like a bad English paper. I mean, red ink everywhere. I mean, all the changes need to be made. It was a little disconcerting. Well, it's the same thing with your life though. Okay. Up to this point, and you look at the core areas, okay, for your friendships, for your romantic relationships, for your health, for your career, your self-esteem, all of these, your lifestyle. Take a look at all these areas. But where have you come from? And I like starting with your wins. Okay, not what didn't work, but what have you really done that you have been proud of? Okay, that you have done, that you have achieved, accomplished, experienced, that made you who you are. Look back on these times, places, the environments, the people you're around that made you shine. Okay. And that's the word I use for it. When were you your most badass, magnetic, hottest, most confident self? Okay. When did you feel like you were winning and kicking ass at life? Okay. And that could, and taking a real look at it from the achievement standpoint, but also from the character standpoint. Okay. What was I like physically? What was I doing? Where was I living? Who was I surrounding myself with? What was that type of thing? So all of those things, and I did that, and I took for so many things for granted. Okay, of the people that you've had in your life. Okay, oh, well, I know this person. This, all the great comments, compliments, anything like that. And a famous quote, old baseball player Dizzy Dean said, if you've done it, it ain't bragging. And that's the thing, because we tend to be so hard on ourselves. Oh, well, that's not that big a deal. No, it's a big fucking deal. It's a real big deal. You just discount it. Okay. And so I think it starts with that, of doing your all-star highlight reel of from then to now. Right. Mm-hmm. And then I believe it is, okay, what totally didn't work. Right. What didn't work? So that way you're starting with something positive, because if you start with a negative, you're going to go down that rabbit hole and you're going to stay there. And next thing you know, it's weeks later. But then it's, okay, this is what worked. Yeah, I'm kind of badass. And this isn't like doing it all in one day. This is like a process. Okay. Then it's figuring out, okay, what didn't work? What could I have done better? And most importantly, what was I responsible, accountable, and culpable for? Okay. Because you had shitty parents, you didn't have a damn thing to do with that. Okay.
Right.
If you had a bad marriage and your ex was an alcoholic, okay, that wasn't you. But your choice to stay or to enable it or things like that was you. Okay.
Yeah.
So really doing a realistic, sometimes uncomfortable postmortem on what was under your control and what wasn't. Okay. Because that's going to free you up. There's a lot of stuff out there. So,
I agree. When I got divorced, it's been about 12 years now. Oh my God, maybe more. Time flies when you're having fun without the douchebag. I actually stopped and went, wait a minute. What was I responsible for? And my responsibility was choosing the relationship, choosing a man who actually treated me shitty and thinking that it was okay because he was paying me attention. What were my choices and what were my actions and what did I do to attract this type of relationship? And I was damaged. And I was accepting things that you know what I mean? Right. So my thoughts have been throughout the years, okay, so I was hurting. I needed to heal. What do I need to do to heal? How can I get there? Therapy didn't work for me. I hated therapy. All it did was have me wallow every week and complaining about what was wrong and them listening and then sending me home and come back the next week and talk about it again. And it didn't work for me. That's when I was like, wait a minute. I need to make some real solid changes. And then I started bringing people into my life who were better influences, who were in better places in their lives, who were happy, so it's always like that thing that they say, you want to be a millionaire, hang out with millionaires.
Nailed it. Yeah, you absolutely nailed it. I see this with, you use the word who you chose. Okay. Yeah. And choosing is not just from a romantic or partner or dating perspective. That's from your friends. That's from your friends otherwise. And something I say a lot is, just because you have history with someone doesn't mean you have a connection with them anymore. Your friendships change and they evolve. And it sounds really cool and makes for a wonderful, Hallmark movie. We've been friends 25 years. Awesome. Okay. That's great. That you may be friends like that, but you change, your lives change, your ambitions, all of that. And it doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that it's a screw you, burn the bridges type of thing. But it is really finding people who are more aligned with you, who you are now, not who you were, and who you want to be. And that, I think that's a big one. I mean, I know that that you talk a lot of dating relationships on the show, but before you do that, part of that doing the work is you need to go just figure out not only who you are, so I can find a man or find a woman, so you can actually just be a decent halfway human being. That
finding yourself.
Yeah, that people want to be around, and it starts with your friends, and then you become, like you said, you were happy and you became more attractive. It's something that. Let's put it this way. It's simple, but it's hard. Okay, there's a huge difference right there. It's not complex. This is remarkably, simple, but it is hard work to do.
Well, it's making that choice every day to keep moving forward, to keep thinking positive. Like I was on the phone with my daughter on the way to my meeting, freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. My wallet's gone. My emergency money's gone. What the actual? And then I was like, wait, whoa. I'm feeding into this. I'm making myself anxious. I'm making myself stressed. It's my own fault. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to act like I found it. No big deal. And then I found it. No big deal. Right. So it's about making those choices every freaking day. When you find yourself being, there are moments that I allow myself to feel the pain, to feel the sadness, to feel those moments. But it's like, okay, does that serve me anymore?
Right.
It no longer serves me. What do I need to feel that anymore?
No, it doesn't serve you at all. And I think one thing, that kind of one of the next, I say a step, but it's an awareness that people need to have in this is, it goes back to choice. So many people hang on to the shit. They hang on to whether it is a memory, whether it is fear out of for making a change. It is that fear of embarrassment of I don't know what to do. How do I go about that? Okay, you don't need to know all the time. But I think part of it all comes from they are comfortable in familiar misery. And that's it. Ooh. Because being comfortable in that familiar misery allows you to hang on to your excuses. It keeps you from being vulnerable. It keeps you from having to look stupid by doing something new. You may hate your life. You may hate your situations, your surroundings, your people right now, but they listen to you bitch. And you know what? I'm really good at bitching about it. And so people do it. I just know what happens, and, you see it in relationships, how many people like, oh, well, they're still talking shit on their partner and doing all this or running around or whatever. Yeah. And, they're not willing to make a change. They're not willing to have a day, a week, or a month of work or discomfort or hard conversation can actually get you ahead or, either new direction, different direction, or fix a problem because it's my comfortable, familiar misery. And that's when you can recognize if you are doing that and in what areas of your life you are doing that. And it's not just relationships. I mean, I have a client I work with and she was talking about her career. And I finally just had to get really tough with her because she's bitching about her career, bitching about management. I like my job. I like my career. I like what I do. But this company, they're stupid. They treat people like shit. And you know what? 3 people in my company, they left and they went up the street and made X amount more. I go, and what are you doing about that? I said, you're continue 6 months later, still bitching about the same thing that Susie Q went up there and made a whole lot more money than you. And you're not, have you done anything? No, because we validate ourselves and we feel needed with someone who'll listen, or it allows us to justify our fear by doing that.
Yeah. So. Well, as an example, my oldest daughter's 29. She's been seeing the same guy since she was 17. Wow. He's been horrible to her this whole time. He's not a great person. He's a fine human being. Fine. In your world, stay in your world, stay in your lane, whatever. He's horrible to her. Got it. She's now had her second child with him, and she's raising these children alone. My grandson's 2 months old. She's raising these kids by herself. And she keeps talking. She made a post the other day on Facebook about, how bad he treats her and how, thank God, they're apart and blah, blah, blah. And I want to say so badly, yeah, but when you were pregnant the first time, I reminded you that he was going to be this way to you. I kept my mouth shut. I thought, you know what? Best thing I can do is show my daughter at 54 years old that I make changes daily to make my life better. That I had 3 kids that I raised by myself, and I created businesses by myself, and I've done all these changes for the better good of myself. I made those steps. All I can do is show her every day that I'm making those changes, and she has the ability to do it too. Because when I tell her, she doesn't want to hear it. So
No.
I try to live by example.
No, and that's the best thing you can do. I mean, I hear stories like that, and it bothers me for a multitude of reasons on that, because I wish that as a parent, I've got 3 grown kids too, and as a parent, you love them, you care for them, you want to protect them, but they're grown adults, okay?
Yeah.
And they're still kids, but they're grown adults, and they're going to make their own choices, and some of them are stupid choices, and some of them they have. What I always have said is, look, I never want to let them go splat on the concrete, but sometimes they might need to bounce off it a little bit and figure it out on their own. The best thing on that, sometimes if like another person or a friend, I wish a guy or a guy friend would just go, what the hell are you thinking with this guy? But the fact that you're leading by example is great for your children, but the best part is you're doing it for you,
Yeah.
Because I mean, no, really, that's it. We've done the hard, for anybody that has been a caregiver or parent or anything like that. I mean, that's wonderful, but there's a point in time when we start off this conversation with, you don't know how long your runway is, but we know that I've got fewer summers ahead of me than behind me. And for me, it's I know what my draft looks like. I know what my second draft needs to look like, and it's flexible enough to be open for all kinds of things to come in. But I've got a direction with it, and that's what I encourage a lot of people to have.
Yeah, I've decided when I start to run out of runway, I'm just gonna, take off.
I do. I have a really quick question for you, Bradley. Do you have a specific age range that you work with? Because I know it's advanced adulting. So what's your typical
the
client?
Majority of folks, really about 35 and up. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, because most of the things that they're more life experiences. People who've experienced certain life stages and experience, but I'd say the bulk of people are 40s and 50s, and that's the bulk of it. Going down to probably in the below. I have kids in their 20s. I mean, and I come off like a dad there, and that's great. But that's a different deal.
They don't want to hear it.
Yeah, this is more of the stuff that, and that's one thing that I think is important about what I do with advanced adulting. There are people that I know. There's a lot of great people talking about menopause or talking about men's health or things like that, or and they're fantastic. I focus a lot on the relationship and life changes, okay? Because it's something that, regardless of your background, most of us go through it in some form or fashion. I think that's one of the things that is important for me, in the people that I work with, is I've gone through a lot of that, and to be able to identify with that is a big deal.
Yeah.
So we've got less than a minute, Bradley. I'd love to allow you to have a moment to pitch whatever you got going on.
Thank you. Well, people can find me at, I do a lot of things on social media, on Instagram, mostly Instagram, TikTok, but I'm Bradley Richardson. I am Bradley Richardson, and same thing for the website. I'm Bradley Richardson are the best places to find me and follow there. So I encourage you to do that. And I work with people. Nope. It's I am, not I am. So
it's how do you put it in there?
Yeah.
And then DJ will show it.
There we go. I can type well. I can spell my own name. That'd be great. There we go. Richardson. You get it. But no, I work with people one-on-one. Yeah, I can't spell. Public school kid.
It's the letter M, the name Bradley, and the name Richardson. So
yes.
Bradley.
I'm Bradley.
I'm Bradley Richardson. Yeah. No, I work with people one-on-one, and so here we go. One more time.
Bradley
Richards.
There we go.
Richardson.
Here we go.
Damn.
There you go.
No, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, reach out to me. I do a lot of things in traditional sense with sessions, but the thing that works really well is I do coaching on call. which we use through
Cool.
Voxer. And that is, I have people all over the world doing this, so they can reach me anytime, 247. And we go back and forth with video and voice and text. And that's a fantastic way for people that, this is my 911. Oh shit, I just went on a date and what do I do? type of thing.
Oh, I love that.
So that's one thing that works really well. And we've got a lot of different options for that. And I've got a group coaching community too that we meet several times a month. We've got a private group and invite people to come on to that. But yeah, hit me up on the website and hit me up on Instagram, definitely.
Nice. Well, Bradley, thank you for being here today. Jada, you're always the best.
Thank you.
For everybody who's been listening today, thank you for being here. And please come back same time, same place next week. And Bradley, you're welcome on the show anytime. You're always a fountain of knowledge, and you're easy to look at. So that's helpful. Everybody have a wonderful week. And until then, till next week, keep it real.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends, like and follow us on Instagram at 50 Shades of _bullshit and Facebook at 50 Shades of Bullshit. Thanks so much for listening.